I must turn down on this. And I can hear. Oh, come on. There we go. This setup. So I can watch my chat. Yo, DJ, what's up? How long have you been waiting for me to go live, man? Hey, what's going on, man? What are you guys up to? Oh, sweet. I can't wait. Thanks for having me do that for you there, DJ. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to watch it. Since 11. Sorry, man. I came home, sat down with the oldest, chilled out for a little bit. I was over there in Klutch's stream hanging out for a little bit. Welcome, everybody. Oh, here I am. I'm not paying attention here. Let me move this over so I can read my screen. Hey, Farmer Minn, what's going on? What's going on, Nicholson Farm? That's awesome, DJ. That's cool. Sweet. Nicholson Farm has joined the light side. I hear you there, Farmerman. Likewise. I am in no way, shape, or form TV pretty. Hey, Michael S. Thanks for popping over. I know you guys are all over in there in Klutch's chat there. Much appreciated. I'm not gonna go for long tonight, fellas. Just about an hour. How was everybody's Monday? Got a lot of snow up north there, Nicholson. You guys can keep it. I've had enough cold weather this year to last me a lifetime already. Not that I should complain after what you guys dealt with. So we finally cleared all the trees off of field 12. It took for what seemed like forever. And this is the last episode I left off on Spectacle Island was 7, so technically this should be 9, but we're not going to go with technicalities. Yeah, you can keep that, put a snowman. Haha, snowman. I think he's got plenty of snow to deal with too there, Nicholson. Don't bury the poor man. We're upsetting the mama bear. She's growling at us. Get off my lawn! Rabble, 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 rabble. Pew pew! So, for those of you that are friends with me on Facebook, you'll see what I had to do today. I believe in getting my money's worth out of a brake job. Let me know how you feel, how I did get my money's worth out of my brake job. 10 inches more. Oh, man. DJ, I forgot to tell you, I can't post a video of this marshmallow. I forgot to shut the radio off in the background. We have a newly acquired ride that has joined the tiny family. Betty is for sure going to the great junkyard heaven in the sky. She's been replaced by the Smarshmallow, as it has been named. A friend of mine called me Saturday, said, what are you doing? I said, I'm working. Why? Since when do you work on Saturdays? Since a year ago. Anywho, he goes, I've got something for you. I'm going to drop it off in your driveway. No need to say thank you. Just use it, drive it, and get as much mileage out of it as you can. So, I called the wife, and probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and I said, could you possibly go outside and maybe take a picture of whatever might be in the driveway? And She did, and she goes, "Why is there a white Toyota Corolla in our driveway?" My friend had acquired, he sells cars and he does repairs. He's a very good friend of mine. His business is growing so fast he's had to move in three different times in about 3 years. But now he's selling cars as well as doing repair work. And a customer bought a car from him, and when they moved up here from Virginia, they drove up here a 1994 Toyota Corolla and proceeded to park the car. And it's been sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting. And then he bought a car from my buddy, and he goes, "Do you want this?" And he showed it to him, and he goes, "I've got the perfect person for this." And he picked it up and took it to his shop, went through it really quick, figured out what it needed, and then called me and said, "Here you go." Left the keys and the paperwork on the passenger seat, and told me to enjoy the 30 miles per gallon. So we now have, we're back up to 2 vehicles. I have to finish getting all the stuff out of Betty and send her off to the salvage yard. Betty almost made it to 400,000 miles. And if it hadn't been for the alternator failing, she would have. But I'm gratefully indebted to the man for helping me out as much, just in helping me out with that. I couldn't have asked for to know a better person, really. And that goes without saying, most of all of you as well. We're gonna get this worker to square up the field here and clean up the mess he just made. Then we're gonna go find something else to do. I gotta start, I gotta go plant some sunflowers on field 1. And I think we're gonna possibly buy some sheep. I don't know if I have a water tanker. Oh no, you know what? I can't buy sheep yet. I gotta put up a silo, and I gotta start mowing grass. Send what to the racetrack there, Nicholson? The coolest thing about this little new car is there's not a speck of rot on it. It's got, you know, parking lot dings and dents. There's one spot next to the trunk lid that's got a little bit of surface rust on it. That's it. Oh, Betty? No. Betty couldn't. Betty wouldn't handle a hit at a racetrack. Betty's my Ford pickup. Her body would fall off. It's the sad part about Betty. The frame on Betty is rock solid. The motor runs strong. The trainee's good. But I don't have... I can't justify spending $600 on a truck that I've owned for 6 years that I bought for $250. It's just not worth it. And sadly, it only needs 2 parts, and each part costs $300 each. The steering shaft has been failing for over a year now, and now the alternator's starting to go. If not, if it hasn't already gone. That was my whole charging issue. My whole battery issue. It was weird because it would only act up at certain times of the day, which I've never seen an alternator do that a day before in my life. But it is what it is. I got my time and use out of her, so she's time to retire. Put her out to pasture. Betty didn't even have an exhaust lift on her. She had open Y pipes. Alright, so that should be good to go. We did buy a second harvester, so we have the old Massey Ferguson over here on the CDP farm. So that harvester is going to be responsible for field 1 for now until I start acquiring other fields. We already have a good stockpile of grain in there too. We got some corn, some sunflowers. Let's take a walk over the mountain here. Yep, I got this. I got the other 1455 set up over here, so let's get this started. I think the best trip I ever had was Betty was taking her down to Virginia. We went to visit some friends of the wife, and they took us all over. They took us to Dulles International Airport, the Smithsonian we got to see, which is very close to Washington, D.C., and then we ended up driving all over Washington, D.C. They did not like my truck by the time I left. They really did not like my truck by the time I left. So, Betty hasn't had an exhaust in years, Nicholson. She's literally just got a Y pipe. That's it. The only thing that keeps her quiet is she's got 4 catalytic converters on the Y pipe, so they act as a actually 3 now because one melted down. They act as like a silencer on those things. So Betty's muffler blew out long ago. The whole back half of the shell blew off the muffler. Yeah, you're there, Nicholson. My old man and I used to do so as well. What's up, MFS Films? How you doing? Hey, Zach, what's up? How you doing, man? Not much MFS Films. Not much. Nicholson Farm, my old man used to do that with a spark plug and just riching up his carburetor on his old 62 New Yorker back in the day. Ran a coil to the plug that threaded into the tailpipe. Farmer Minn, who you scaring? How are you, Farmer Minn? I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I do hope you got my message on Messenger the other day. That up. Okay. We'll fix that. Well, that's what you have kids for, man. Especially when you get older. If you raise them right, they'll be willing to help you out without having to be told. I came home the other night with 6 inches of snow on the ground. My oldest was waiting on a couch for me. All dressed, coat on, waiting, just finished tying up his boots to come outside and help me clear the sidewalk and the driveway. Very, very, very proud of the young men my kids are turning into. My oldest just applied for his very first job. Hoping to see how well that's going to work out for him because of his medical issue, but they'll have to figure out a way to work around it or keep it under control. If he gets the job, obviously, but he can't do much right now because we're limited on vehicles for now. Hopefully the Smarshmallow will be up and running within a week, and I'll order the parts for it tomorrow. Dang, I don't like working in the dark. I know it's hard for you guys to see what's going on. I don't want to speed up time and have stuff start growing out of the blue either. I had to do a quick brake job on the coffin today. The brakes failed on the Jeep. So bad that the passenger inboard brake pad was cutting into the fins on the rotor. Kind of pushed it a little bit farther than I should have. Kind of cool. Yeah, I should have changed them a lot sooner there, Nicholson Farm, but when there's only one income, you have to figure out what happens first, and clothes and on my kids' back and a roof over their head and food in their stomachs is priority. So I drive it gingerly, be easy on the throttle and be easy on the brakes, and we pushed it a week and a half, and then it got to the point where it couldn't be pushed anymore. So what's going on, Cows? What's up? How's work? Betty was a 2000 Ford F-150 there, Nicholson Farm. That had the 4.6 Triton V8 in it. That's good, cows. I could use a nap. Another half an hour, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to go too long tonight. Tonight was long for me. I had to sit in front of a computer and check our own numbers all freaking night. So boss is going through part numbers and he's cussing up a storm because we've got inventory inventory missing, but rigs that have been in the shop for repairs for what is missing. So now it's buckle down and go through ROs. I had to have gone through about, I don't know, 300 ROs tonight, and I'm not even, I'm almost halfway done. That's all I did all night. Stare at a computer, look up work orders, check and see if parts were billed. That was freaking ecstatic. It was the highlight of my night. My eyes are on fire. On that note, I'm going to get up and take a break. We'll leave this guy at it. Just going to go outside for a minute. Nicholson Farm, if I can find the photos, I can put it in the Facebook group. I have shots of Betty when she had 33 by 12.5 inch by 16 inch tires on her. The tires were on her for probably about 2 hours, and she was buried within 15 minutes. Oh, oops, there goes my phone. Oh, Tiny, what did you do? I have to go fishing for my phone next to my turtles. There we go. Oh. Oh, don't get old, fellas. Farmer Minn can attest to that too. I'm only 38. I feel like I'm 98. Oh. Where is... Okay, there's... Nope. Oy vey. Me fat butt. For those of you that don't know, Fat Butt is my turtle, Mrs. Timms. She's twice the size of her male counterpart. Oh, let me bring up YouTube here on my phone while I go outside. Oh, my kids are going to be the death of me. Hey, my phone was nice enough to tell me I'm live. Oh, wow. Yeah, and they say that Dextron 6 is universal from now for all the new stuff to the old stuff. Don't listen to them. It's not. That Dextron 6 is a full synthetic. It will not mix with Dextron 3 or anything older than it. That's the problem in parts stores nowadays, cows. They hire people who can breathe. the company that shall remain nameless that I used to work for would have rather had customers coming in telling the sales associates how to do their job. That's not how that works. If anybody hears that, that's a Harley Davidson, I think, out on the highway. That's how close I live to Route 8 in Connecticut. Now, O'Reilly's is popping up all over the place here in Connecticut, too. They're literally right down the street from one of the stores west of, or east of us, and right up the road from one of the stores north of us. Pew pew! I've never had any problems with Home Depot there, Nicholson Park. Farmer Minn, thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate it. We'll catch you on the flip side. Rest easy. It's not gonna cause. Usually the store brand stuff is just renamed, repackaged ATF. It's manufactured typically by a company called Coastal. But usually it's a, not usually, the Dextron 6 is a synthetic ATF, which is what the newer cars require. Even as old as your car is, they started using Dextron 6, I think, 2003 or 4, maybe 5. Haha. Thank you, Farmerman, but I'm far from it. But I do appreciate it, sir. Yes, Nicholson Farm came to the light side. He is now a PS4 gamer, as well as Xbox. Mic check. I'll set this up over here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Dude, I'll never forget it. I had a kid coming to the parts store driving a brand new Mercedes. And He comes up to me and I looked at him. Can I help you? Well, maybe, I guess, I'm not sure, was the answer I got. So, my coworker and I exchanged confused glances. I said, well, what do you need? What are you looking for? He goes, well, I kind of need somebody to come out and check my oil. This kid had to have been like 22, 23. I looked at him, and we're not allowed to check oil when it comes to parts stores because it's actually considered a liability. Basically, if we check somebody's oil and they pull out of our parking lot and the motor grenades on the road, we're the last ones to touch the engine. And the company's liable for any damages. So I looked at him and I said, you want me to check your oil? And he goes, well, is there anybody who can? I'm like, no, there isn't. And that's when my stupid switch shorted out and I looked at him and I'm like, you don't know how to check your own oil? And he's like, well, my information center is telling me I'm low on oil. I'm like, okay, so go check your oil. And he had no clue. He had no idea how to do it. And obviously, mommy and daddy bought him the Mercedes. All he did was drive it. And I looked at him and I said, oh, it's like this. And I explained to him why we couldn't check his oil. He's like, well, I won't hold you liable. I'm like, no, nobody here is checking your oil. You need to check your oil. I will walk you through the steps on how to check your oil. I literally had to teach this 23-year-old kid how to locate his dipstick, check it, and make sure there was oil on it, and if there wasn't, I had to show him where to put the oil in the motor to fill it back up. My wife can check her own oil in her vehicle. She doesn't, but she knows how to if she needs to. And I just, I found it very baffling. Oh. What was that? Oh. That's cool. Get the electrical fence up here. Yeah, it's, unfortunately that's today's generation. Not all of them are like it, thank God. There are quite a bit that made it through and they actually learned something, but God. My kids are learning basic automotive knowledge. Changing a tire, checking your oil, checking all the fluids under the hood. My own sister, both of them, know how to change their oil. They can do a brake job in a pinch if they need to in their own driveway. Themselves. So, to know that there's a generation out there that has no freaking clue is just, it's real sad. Not all of them, like I said, but a lot of them. That's like the superchargers on the Series 2 3800s there, Cows. The superchargers used a mineral-based oil for lubricant. You could only get at the dealerships. You want to know how many kids I dealt with that would come in and just grab a bottle and say, I need this, and you'd be like, for what? And they'd tell you, and it's like, no, you can't use that. I remember Grandpa Stoddard's old 48 International pickup. It had shock boxes. It was a little box on the frame rail with a I want to call it an arm is probably the best description, that ran from the box down to the axle. and it was a refillable hydraulic reservoir. You could service them, and that was the shocks on those trucks. And for somebody to hear what a hydraulic shock really used to be. Oh yeah, those Series 23800s were good engines. For a while they were bulletproof until they started using freaking plastic for intakes and gaskets. I'll go this way with this one. I need to get, I'm waiting for the helper on field 12 to get finished up. He probably screwed up somewhere along the way, but I have to sow fields 11, 12, 13, and 14. And I still have to clear, I'm clearing 13 right now, or 15, and 16 is next. And then I gotta hit up the other two islands there. Still gotta buy a mower for G1. I don't have the money for a... Can I cut this tree down? I don't think I can. Nope. Alright, so that's the edge of the field. I gotta figure out what to use for a mower. I don't want to use the butterfly mowers. And I don't want to... I can't afford the big M500s. Trying to get up some sort of a supply here. I gotta put up a forage silo so I can get sheep and stuff going. They changed Sussex. I don't know if anybody's been on it, but you know where the gas station used to be across from the main farm on the main road? There's now a giant storage barn. Sweet, Nicholson. Can't wait to see it. Almost thought I lost that one. Thinking about doing the old forge harvester there. The old Massey Pack mower. Yes, black sheep modding, I think I saw an update on Facebook is what, 90% done? And then it's off to testing at Giants. Sweet. Congratulations there, Nicholson. That's awesome. I don't know, I kind of like the older stuff. I do get what you're saying with the blocky, flat texture type thing going there. But, I just thought it was nice that they gave us some older equipment. Aside from the antique tractor pack, obviously. But, oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. That'll bring in some bucks. Oh man, that always does that to me. I swear I should. Oh, why am I tipping over? Oh, there we go. Arthur Chapman had some issues on the Valley of the Old Farm with one of the class, however you say it, class harvesters. They didn't get they tried to do a shadow texture on the rims, and it failed massively. I mean, the overall mod was cool, but the texture, the shadow textures, didn't stay in one place. It actually followed the wheel around. Where? Oh, okay, I'm getting back up into the larger part of the field here. I think we'll call that quits for that right now. Let's go to the store. This farmer moved from where he was to California, I guess, here back over the summer. More power to him for being able to tolerate that, but I guess if you're in the upper portion of California near Washington State, it's not that bad. You couldn't pay me to walk through the city. Is it in here? I think it's in here. Nope, it's down here. There it is. Okay, I think I already have a collection wagon. Let's get the header for this thing. Oh wow, really? What's he ranting about, cows? Trailers. To my knowledge, no. Oh, I honestly don't know. I haven't heard hide nor hair of anything about mods for 17 since 19 dropped. Why, are they going to take them all away? Because if that's the case, I'll shut my damn PlayStation off till they're done with that crap. Ah. I thought Eustace Farmer was a PC gamer. What did I miss? Cool. Oh, I'm not gonna start mowing grass in the dark, so we'll get this over to G1, park it up, and call it a night. We'll get some traveling tunes on here. did it again. Just that whole section there. I don't know why you did that. Battery very quick. Damn. Let's see here. Alright, Cows. Appreciate you swinging in, man. We'll catch you on the flip side. Rest easy. Thanks, dude. On that note, it's at 30 after my hour mark, so it is time for me to get a normal night's sleep as well. So, on that note, folks, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Thumbs up always help. If you want to share the video, please be my guest. Have at it. Any comments, questions, and or suggestions are always more than welcome in the comment section below. DJ's lurking again. And we will catch you all on the flip side. Much love, y'all. You guys have a wonderful evening, morning, whatever. Bye.